Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. Today is June 20th, 2023, and I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill. Check me out on Twitter. Today, great episode, 3 days away from the draft, my final mock draft. So it's 2.0. Normally I do 3 mock drafts. I try not to bombard you with a bunch of mock drafts for clickbait. But this year, with so many people dropping out of the draft, I didn't want to just hit you with 4 and 5 mock drafts. So I just waited for people to drop out. And now here we are. Boom. The draft is here. So mock draft 2.0. I'm not going to waste your time going over each prospect for 10 minutes. I've talked about this prospects all off season. So let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. Number one, you all know, unfortunately. No, I'm saying. The number one pick, it goes to the San Antonio Spurs. They won a lottery. They did not tank all these years and give up an all-star point guard to draft another amazing, incredible all-star point guard. The Spurs are going with Victor Wembanyama with the first pick in the draft, the 7'5", incredible athlete, the player that we've seen, none like any other, if that makes sense. He's one of a kind for the most part. He can do everything on the court, and they're hoping to hit a home run with him. If his health doesn't fail him, if his body holds up, the Spurs could have the next generational player with Victor Wembanyama. So that everybody knows that. We're going straight on to number two. Number two with the Charlotte Hornets, I have them selecting Scoot Henderson. There's a lot of debate whether they should take Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson or trade the pick, try to get the Pelicans want to move up. A lot of teams want to move up right now. It's a lot of talk around draft world, draft Twitter, all this stuff, rumors, speculation. The Hornets should just take the best player in this draft, in my opinion, which is Scoot Henderson, the 6'2" point guard from the G League Ignite. Just dynamic, incredible point guard that can transform a franchise. Can he play with LaMelo? We will see. I think he can. Too good for the Hornets to pass up at number two. Number three, the Blazers, if they keep this pick, I have them selecting Brandon Miller. The last I heard was they probably will keep it unless they get blown away. But if they keep it, he'll fit the team fine, like perfectly, actually. Along with Anthony Simon, Shaedon Sharpe, and Brandon Miller. I mean, that's a 2, 3, and 4, or a 1, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3 that could carry this team to the future. And then if you trade Dame, I mean, look out. The players could go some places because they're not going anywhere with Dame right now unless they get 2 guaranteed starters for this third pick. So I don't know. Number 4, I have Amen Thompson going to the Rockets. Still my number 3 prospect in this draft. I'll do my big board tomorrow, and you'll see the big board. I was debating whether to do the mock or the big board first, but news is slowly breaking about the mock draft. And so I don't want to have my mock draft in after you already know the majority of guys that are going to be picked. But to me, Amen is a slam dunk for the Rockets. The issue would be if they bring in James Harden. But even if they bring in James Harden, select Amen Thompson unless you're trading a pick. 6'7" point guard, dynamic, one of the few players in this draft where you watch his tape and it's like, oh my God. Yeah, that's that guy. Amen Thompson needs to work on the shot, but the Rockets could have something with Amen Thompson. I got him as Scoot right here on the list. Bro, Scoot twice. But that's Amen Thompson. Number 5, I have the Pistons taking Taylor Hendricks. Yes, Taylor Hendricks. He should go to the Pistons at number 5. There's a lot of talk about who the Pistons should take. I don't think there's any question about that. Taylor Hendricks is incredible. The 6'9" forward from UCF shot almost 40% from 3. He's 6'9", played power forward. Almost 2 blocks per game. I mean, what more could you want from a prospect? Tall, long, rangy. People are talking about him going 10 or 12. He's the 5th best prospect in this draft class. I've said it since day one. Easy fit with the Pistons too, because they have Duren at the 5. He can't shoot. Put Hendricks in him beside him. He can shoot. Boom, boom. Easy call right there. I love that fit with Taylor Hendricks. Number 6, Keyonte George. That's right, Keyonte George to the Magic. he moved up my list. I talked about it when I did my player comps show. It was pretty clear to me. Like, I knew he had it in him, but I was like, is he Jaden Hardy or is he Donovan Mitchell? And if you look at the tape more thoroughly, this guy could be the next Donovan Mitchell, and he's taller than him. So look out. But Keontae George from Baylor, 6'4", 200 pounds, dynamic scorer, can do anything you want on the court offensively, great athleticism. I would love to see him with the Magic. The Magic need a shooting guard. He can come in and fill that role. He can carry the role of point guard a little bit at times as well. But the main position of need for the Magic is point guard. It's shooting guard. So a lot of people want them to get a three-point shooter. He shoots it at a pretty good clip at 34%, and that could improve. Magic take the best player on the board. You do not want to go through this draft and think, man, we could have had Keontae George, but we went with a shooter, that's not as great. So you don't want to regret that. Like, Utah got a steal when they got Donovan Mitchell because a lot of teams passed on him. So that was 1 through 6. I'll do some recaps later on because I'm going to do both rounds. We're going through it, y'all. But I'm still not going to keep you here all day. Number 7, the Pacers. I have them selecting Cam Whitmore. For a lot of people, that would be him falling a little bit. But it seems pretty right to me. He was probably one of the harder guys to evaluate because I could see the good and I could see how it could not work out in the NBA as well. Cam Whitmore from Villanova, 6'7", 230 pounds, great size, great weight, great defensive capabilities. He's not a great shooter, but he's solid at it. He made 34%, but he's not the shooter Keontae George is at 34%. You know what I'm saying? And he still has a lot to work on, but I think he will fit the Pacers roster very well and fit in right at the small forward position. And they'll have 1, 2, and 3 locked up right there. Number 8, a bit of a surprise. Kobe Buffkin from Michigan. Have him going to the Wizards. The Wizards just made one of the worst trades of all time, getting rid of Bradley Beal. So they have a hole at the 1. They could possibly have a hole at the 2. We'll see what happens with that draft pick from last year. But Kobe Buffkin could come in and play dual roles, the 1 and the 2. So I think when I did my comparison episode on him, I saw Tyrese Maxey. So think of all the teams that passed up on Tyrese Maxey when he went 21st. And originally I had Kobe Buffkin around 21st, 24th in this draft. But when you watch more tape, you're able to see more things and evaluate your prospects a little differently. And I could see that Tyrese Maxey comp very well. And he's a little bit taller than Tyrese Maxey. So as well, that could be an incredible find for the Wizards or anyone in the top 10 at this point. And I think it'll be a steal. Next, the Jazz are on the clock. I have him selecting Grady Dick. And doesn't he just seem like a Utah Jazz type of player? Some have compared him to Gordon Hayward. He was tremendous for the Jazz. They could be getting the next one. But I think Gordon Hayward, people forget, he was very athletic as well. Grady Dick is athletic, can shoot, all that good stuff. So can handle the ball, not going to be using the abuse on defense. So he'll fit right in with this Utah Jazz team, Grady Dick. Number 10, I still have the Mavs selecting GG Jackson. They need a big that can score. GG Jackson is not a ready now player necessarily because he's so young, one of the youngest players in his class at 18. But he fits that power forward role and is not just a guy that's there. He could be dynamic, averaging 15.6 boards, and he can shoot the 3 at 32.5%. For a big man, that's great. When I watch this tape, I'm like, he's not that different than, the guys ranked ahead of him. But there were some things he needs to work on. Either way, I think the Mavs, no one at this 10 spot for the Mavs is going to come in and help them win anything. So get the position you need and one of the best talents in the class. Number 11, I have the Magic taking Bryce Sensabaugh, dynamic scorer from Ohio State. Shot 40% from 3. That's what you want to see. Very natural basketball player, tremendous scorer. People are worried about his defense. I'm not worried about his defense because of the way he can put up the ball. There's been reports of him having medical issues. So if he falls in the draft, I don't think it'll be because of defense. I think it'll be because of medical. But I think he checked out to be okay as well. Just a lot of news and conjecture about Bryce Sensabaugh, whether he can go this high at 11 or fall in the 20s. We will see, but he's one of the top 12 talents in his class for sure. Number 12, I have Leonard Miller going to the OKC Thunder. I got OCK Thunder, you know what I mean? I'll go ahead and fix that though for the haters. But Leonard Miller to the OKC Thunder, another big with Chet. He's skinny like Chet as well, though. Not as skinny, but, Chet is probably going to need a banger in there with him to help him hold down defense, just like Victor Wembanyama will with the Spurs. There is no one in that range for that, so why not take another guy that can come in and play with Chet or off of Chet or behind Chet? But Leonard Miller, we know he's ready. He averaged a double-double in the G League as a 19-year-old. He came a long way from last year. OKC is great at developing players. I think he will continue to get better in their program. Number 13, Jalen Hood-Schifino. I have him going to the Raptors. Fred VanVleet appears to be out of there. They need a point guard. Jalen Hood is 6'6", incredible point guard. I think he's better than Anthony Black, who, as you've seen so far, has not been drafted. Jalen Hood-Schifino will be a great fit for the Raptors. They're already one of the biggest, longest, rangiest teams in the league. They'll be adding a 6'6" point guard when you have Fred VanVleet, who is like 6'1". That's what you're looking for right there. So him and Scotty Barnes, it's going to be hard to score on those guys. Next, for 14, I have the Pelicans taking Jarace Walker. That's a bit of a change from my last draft. I think I would love for them to take Imani Bates, but it looks like Imani Bates is not going this high. And talking about Jarace Walker going 5th or 6th. So I had to move him up a little bit. I had Jarace Walker going around 19. So the best I can do is 14 right here for you with the Pelicans. When Zion's out, he can come in and fill that role. And I don't just mean out injured when he's on the bench, anything like that. But it's going to be hard for him to be a starter on this team, but he's still great value and great protection for Zion if he's there or if he's not there. Jarace Walker can do a lot in the post or the perimeter. Teams seem to love him. I think 14 is still high for him, but we will see. Number 15, I have the Hawks taking Noah Clowney. Great projection right there. I got a gnat in here that's keep flying around me because it's dark in here with the light on me. But I have the Hawks taking Noah Clowney, 6'10", forward from Alabama. His future is so bright. Reminds me of a little bit of Chris Bosh with the Heat, to where, not Chris Bosh with the Raptors, but could he get there? That would be great. But he has a lot of potential, and the Hawks don't really need anyone. When they draft rookies, they normally don't play. And then the last one they did, AJ Griffin, he played well, but that's just one more spot that's going to make it harder for a guard to come in and play. So take a big that can take some relief off of Clint Capella, John Collins. John Collins could be out of the door. He can develop behind those guys. Great fit. Number 16, Anthony Black finally comes off the board. Now, Anthony Black, 6'7", point guard from Arkansas. Everyone loves him for the top 10. I think I have him going 16 to the Jazz. That's more where he should go. Good playmaker, does everything well. Nothing really great, not really a special talent, but he can come in and fill a role. He could possibly evolve into a great starting point guard, but I think he's more of a in-betweener. I don't know if he's going to play point guard 100%. We will see. Utah will be getting their guy at 16. And if he pans out, that'll be a steal. Number 17, the Lakers. I have them taking Jordan Hawkins. There's some other guys you might could say they should take. I'm going to name a more talented guy next at 18. But the Lakers, they have LeBron, they have AD. They're not looking for the next superstar. They're looking for roles, players to fill a role specifically. I think Jordan Hawkins will do that. The Lakers are always clamoring about how they need shooting. Jordan Hawkins shot 39% from 3, and he's a lights-out shooter, whether on the ball, spotting up, or off of running around everywhere off around the court, like Rip Hamilton back in the day. Incredible cutter in Jordan Hawkins, and shoots it so quick, lightning fast. He'll fit great with the Lakers. That's what they're looking for. Next, I have the Heat with Dariq Whitehead, one of my favorite prospects in this class. He's just had some injuries. People, he shot 42% from three. Had a second foot surgery. He's going to be out, and he'll miss summer league, but he'll be ready for the season. But a lot of teams are concerned: will he be ready to play? Will he have lingering foot issues or any type of issues? We don't know. But that's too good for the Heat to pass up. The Heat cruise through the regular season, so they don't need to put a lot of pressure on Derek to play. And if he gets healthy, look out. This is more of a scoring punch for Miami. Number 19, I have the Warriors selecting Bilal Coulibaly from France, Victor's teammate. He's 6 foot. He measured at 6'6" originally. That's what they had him reported as, but now they're saying he's 6'8". That helps a lot. At 6'6", I wouldn't have had him going here. They're loaded at the 2. But you have Bilal Coulibaly coming there at 6'8". He can come in and fill that Andre Iguodala role for the Warriors. And, it'll be more of a future type of thing. Steph may be on the decline by the time Bilal is running things, but it would be well worth the selection here because they're not really looking for anyone to come in and start. That's a rookie. So he'll be a guy that can develop, come in, provide that length, that wingspan, and he's a pretty good shooter as well. So Bilal at 19. Number 20, City Sissoko from the Rockets. That's who I have the Rockets selecting. The 6'8" forward from the G League Ignite. Very athletic young man. The Rockets could use an upgrade at small forward. If he hits his ceiling, he will be a great pick for them. He has everything in his package. He just needs to put it all together. There's been talks the Rockets may not keep this pick, but if they do, take City Sissoko. Y'all want to go over the top 20 real quick? Let's do it. Number 1, I have Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, Amen Thompson, Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George to the Magic, Cam Whitmore, Kobe Buffkin, Grady Dick, J.G. Jackson, Bryce Sensabaugh, Leonard Miller, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jarris Walker, Noah Clowney to the Hawks, Anthony Black, Jordan Hawkins, Dariq Whitehead, Bilal Coulibaly, City Sissoko to the Rockets. Now, let's go to number 21. Another guy that a lot of people have in the top 10, Ausar Thompson. I have him going to the Nets. Yes, I do. I can't fit him in that top 20. I mean, a lot of people want him there. I don't see it. It's hard, but I have him going to the Nets. They have 2 picks back to back. I think he'll be a great shot right there for him. He can come in and start for the Nets. They're not in win now position right now because they are in a rebuild. And if he goes to the Nets, that would be a great fit. Number 22, the Nets, like I said, back on the clock. Cason Wallace, another guy people think could be going in the lottery, but I don't think so. I think he'll be a good guard. He can come in and possibly start there. Not many teams he could possibly start on, in my opinion. But if they get Ausar and Cason Wallace, they'll have the 1, 2, 3, and 5 positions down for the future, and the Nets' future could be bright. Number 23, I have the Blazers taking Jett Howard. Love his game, 37% from 3. The 6'8" forward from Michigan. He plays like LaMelo. He plays like Carmelo on offense. He's a really good player, and I think it'll be a steal for the Blazers. And at this point, they would be getting backup depth probably because he wouldn't start over Brandon Miller. But if Brandon Miller can play the 4, Jett Howard can play the 3. But Dame would lose his mind with all these rookies. So we'll see what happens. Next, I have the Kings selecting Emoni Bates. I originally had him going to the Pelicans, and I think that would be a good fit. But this could be an even better fit for Emoni Bates, the 6'9", all-around player from Eastern Michigan, because he would be going with Mike Brown. Mike Brown is a no-nonsense coach. The Kings are not looking for a starter, especially at pick 24. If Emoni Bates can develop into what he is supposed to, the Kings could be getting a star. A lot of stars don't go to Sacramento in free agency. I mean, it never happens. They drafted De'Aaron Fox. They traded for Domantas Sabonis. They could have Emoni Bates and grow him, like have a homegrown superstar or just really good player. Because, I mean, with 6'9", he's skinny, but 6'9", long wingspan, plays like a street ball version of Brandon Ingram, reaches his full potential, could be a Kevin Durant type. You have to take that at 24, in my opinion. Number 25, the Grizz, on the other hand, are looking for someone that can come in and possibly give them some spot minutes. Not looking for a starter. They don't really want any rookies. But why not take a 22-year-old junior? Jalen Wilson from Kansas, 6'8" forward, shot 34% from three as NBA range. Really nice game, 20 points per game in college. He's a ready-to-play guy right now. Perfect for the Grizz. 26, I have the Pacers taking Trayce Jackson-Davis. I have him ranked around 30th or so, but it's not that many bigs in this class worth going in the first round. Trayce Jackson-Davis averaged 21 points per game and 11 boards per game. He can come in Indiana, learn, potentially start pretty early on, and be a very athletic big man that can help them, in their transition to the future, because they're not looking for the playoffs this year, but they will have a lot of talent if they get Trayce Jackson-Davis. 27, the Hornets are back on the clock. At this point, you can't just go for position because there's a lot of guards left on the block. And, not every team needs a guard, but every team does need shooting. Julian Strawther from Gonzaga, the 6'7" guard, shot 41% from three. He could have been around this pick last year. He decided to come back to school, improve his game. He did so. Nice package of moves, one of the best shooters in the class, and a good defender. You have to take that with the Hornets at 27. 28, Maxwell Lewis. Love his game. I originally had him going to the Kings, but now I have him going to the Jazz at 28. He can come in and start or play off the bench. He's a flashy two guard, a lot of skill, a lot of talent, but he could use some polishing as well. So you got time to do that with Utah. He might have to play behind Ochai Agbaji, but they could fight it out for the starting shooting guard. Next, the Pacers back on the clock. I have them taking Chris Murray from Iowa, averaged 20 points and 8 boards per game. Solid shooter, old school type of game. He should fit right in. The Pacers still need a small forward. I had him taking Cam Whitmore earlier. So they'll just have two guys there now that have depth. But Chris Murray, I don't know if he's going to be coming in as a starter pretty much on any team. So why not play for the Pacers? Best player available right there. And number 30, Marcus Sasser to the Clippers. The Clippers need a point guard. Marcus Sasser is not just any point guard. I think he's dynamic. I think he's incredible. He plays like Damian Lillard in college. Will he be able to do that in the NBA? I don't know. But he's one of the most talented players in this class. People may hate that he's 6'2", but that's the only negative you really can say about him. He shot 38% from three. Great player. Next, I have the Pistons taking Tristan Vucevic, the international Serbian, 20 years old, shot 40% from three. He plays a little bit too much on the perimeter, but he can come in. The Pistons need shooting. And, if he can play a little bit of the three, that's really, really nice. But if he can play the four, he can back up Taylor Hendricks, who I had him selecting earlier, and fit well with the team. Go ahead and do it. 32, the Pacers. Like I said, they just have 4 picks in the top 30-something picks. I have them on the board. You have to take the best player available, and that's Nick Smith from Arkansas, a 6'5" guard, shot 34% from three. The streaky shooter, but when he gets hot, look out. Next, I have the Spurs at 33, taking Kobe Jones from Xavier. Good all-around guard, 15.6 boards, 4.5 assists per game, 38% from three. He's 21 years old. I think he'll be ready to come in and run a team with Victor Wembanyama. There's not too many other point guards that I would come in and trust for Victor Wembanyama, and he can play point or the two. And if Marcus Sasser's on the board, you have to take him, but if not, Kobe Jones to the Spurs at 33. 34, I got Charlotte taking Terquavion Smith from NC State. And he'll be a backup guard, but he can come in off the bench and light it up. He's similar to Jamal Crawford. Skinny, but the Hornets could use a backup point guard if they don't keep Dennis Smith Jr. He can come in off the bench, light it up. 35, the Celtics I have them taking a big man, Derek Lively, to help out. Robert Williams is only like 6'9". Al Horford is almost retired. Why not take Derek Lively? If he's there, a lot of people are saying he's in the lottery. I don't see it. He's raw. 5 points, 5 boards per game. He should not be in the lottery. You're just doing everything off potential right there. But If you say so, but I think he'll fit good with the Celtics and they could use him, work him in there good. 36. The Magic are back on the clock again. I haven't taken Ben Shepherd. That's the three-point shooting they're looking for. They already got Bryce Sensabaugh. They already got Keontae George. Get another guard, Ben Shepherd. Incredible shooter. 41% from three. He's a senior, lethal three-point shooter, clutch player. Can do everything on the court you're looking for. 37. This is a trade. You know, Denver Nuggets did not have this trade. They traded with OKC. It's debatable. I don't know if OKC should have did this, but they did it because there was still some talent on the board for them, but they traded this pick for future assets. And the Nuggets are on the clock. I have them go ahead and take the best point guard left in the class, Grant Sherfield from Oklahoma. He's a guy that doesn't really get talked about that much, but he's really good, and he averaged 16 points per game. His only knock is he's 6'2", but he shot 39% from three. Great shooter, smart player, creates separation out there. And I mean, I think he would be, if I originally had him going around 40th to Phoenix, 40-something to Phoenix, because he would have been a great backup for Chris Paul to learn from. And when Chris Paul comes out, he goes in. But now that's over in Phoenix. So Denver needs a backup point guard. They had Reggie Jackson. He got a bunch of DNPs for the most part. They drafted Bones Highland. They traded him away. So get a solid point guard. If you're going to trust a rookie, this would be one to trust. He was a senior as well, so he's not a baby. 38, I have the Sacramento Kings taking James Najee. People love him. If he's at this range, which I think he should be, I could see the Kings taking him, having a center to pair with Domantas Sabonis, but they have a center that's better than him in the G League, Neemias Queta. But everyone loves James Najee, so they could fight it out and see who becomes the center of the future for this team. But it's well worth the risk right here at 38 for the Kings to take James Najee, the raw big man from Barcelona. 39, I have the Hornets taking Kobe Brown, a team with multiple picks. They won't use all these picks. They probably won't make all these picks, but if they do, take the best player on the board, Kobe Brown, 6'7" guy from Missouri, lights out shooter. Great size. If he can fit into a position, find his role in the NBA, great role player. Number 40, the Nuggets. I haven't taken Muhammad Gay from Washington State. One of the best big men in this class. 6'11" from Washington State. Like I said, average 14 and 8. You want to see more blocks from him, only average 1 block per game, but he can also shoot the three. 28% from three. That sounds bad, but for a center, that's really good. He was hard to stop in college. Muhammad Gay would be a great backup backup center for the Nuggets. All right, that's 40. Let's repeat 20 through 40. I did 1 through 20 for y'all. 20, Rockets, Sidi Sissoko, then Ausar Thompson, Cason Wallace, Jett Howard, Imani Bates, Jalen Wilson, Trace Jackson Davis, Julian Strawther, Maxwell Lewis, Chris Murray. 30 was the Clippers with Marcus Sasser. 31, Tristan Vucevic, Nick Smith, Kobe Jones, Terquavion Smith, Derek Lively, Ben Shepherd, Grant Sherfield, James Najee, Kobe Brown, and Muhammad Gay at 40. Now let's go to 41. The Hornets are back on the clock again. It's ridiculous how many picks some of these guys have, but let's hope they don't waste them. I have the Hornets taking Vincent Valerio Bodan, the 6'10" Hungarian. Really great player, international player that's not talked about at all. He can do a lot of things with the ball, very smart, crafty player, and he's not raw. So he probably should go higher than this. It's just not a lot of film on him, not a lot of talk about him, but he is a special talent. Don't know if he'll stay over here, but he deserves to be NBA ready. He's an NBA prospect, in my opinion. Next, the Wizards have him selected Amari Moore from San Jose State. Just best player on the board. They need a shooting guard as well now, but I had him here before that, before Bill got traded. But Amari Moore averaged 17.5 points per game, 5 boards, 5 assists. Explosive athlete. You have to take him at that 42nd spot. 43, Adam Sanogo. Have him going to Portland. They could use a big man to come in there and provide some force and some inside scoring. He has shot, he has touch, he does work in the paint. He has a promising future. So it would be a steal for Portland to get Adam Sanogo from UConn. The Spurs going international with Berk Buyuktuncel from Turkey. Very impressive shooter and can handle the ball, whether he stays over here or not. That's the Spurs MO, Berk Buyuktuncel. 45, the Memphis Grizzlies. I believe the Grizzlies. I have Memphis Phoenix right here for some reason. But I have them taking Amari Bailey from UCLA. Really good guard. Kind of underperformed at UCLA, but still, he's good. 39% from three. Great pedigree. He's a safe player. No matter what, he's going to be safe. But if he reaches the ceiling, Memphis could have a steal here. Or Phoenix, whoever has a pick. I don't know. Number 46, Atlanta have them taking Ryan Rupert from France. This is around the time you could take a risk on him. Right? The Hawks don't have any positions for starters, really even for bench players. So if Ryan Rupert can crack the lineup, great. If he can't, have him stay in the G League. So this is the time for that at 46. 47, Azuolas Tubelis to the Lakers. He's a really good 6'11" forward/center, averaged 20 and 9, and shot the ball well from three, 31%. Really good shooter, nice around the rim. Nice touch, nice movement. He'll be a great backup power forward or center for the Lakers because, like I said, he has that shooting as well. 48, Jordan Walsh to the Clippers. Just a versatile, all-around player. Nothing special. He'll be a good role player for them with great wingspan and size, but that's about it. And that's all they need. If they keep in PG and Kawhi, they don't need someone to come in and score. They got the point guard who I just drafted, Marcus Sasser, PG, Kawhi, have Jordan Walsh come in off the bench, play defense. 49, the Cavaliers, I have them taking Jordan Miller from Miami. Really impressed with him. When I was watching tape and I was getting to Miami players, I couldn't wait to see Isaiah Wong. But then I saw Jordan Miller and I was like, whoa, he's way better than Isaiah Wong. Jordan Miller, 6'6", average 15 and 6 per game, 35% from three, clutch player, good all-around player, great size and athleticism. If he can come in and compete for that small forward role, that would be great. If not, off the bench, he can help this team, because they play a lot of guys that are average at that small forward role. And, Jordan Miller can come in and help him out and, just back up Donovan Mitchell. 50, the OKC Thunder have Colin Castleton from Florida. They can use a center. Here's a center, average 16 and 8 with 3 blocks per game. He could be really good, especially in OKC. I think he'll fit fine. Good paint mover. Gets blocks, has nice touch. There you go. Let's go 41 to 50 one more time. Vincent Valerio Bodon, Amari Moore, Adam Sanogo, Berk Buyuktuncel, Amari Bailey, Ryan Rupert, Azuolas Tubelis, Jordan Walsh, Jordan Miller, Colin Castleton. Let's go to the last 8 prospects. I'm going to go to 10, though. I'm going to say 10 of them for you because 2 teams forfeited a pick. I'm going to tell you who they should have picked if they had to pick because that's what I do. But no, 51, the Nets are on the clock. I have them taking Andre Jackson. People are high on Andre Jackson, but really it's just the raw athleticism that they're going after. He's a great dunker, super leaper, but really just out there as an athlete. But he shot 28% from three, which is not good as a junior, but he shot 36% from three as a sophomore. So is he somewhere in between? If so, the Nets could possibly develop him in the G League and see what they have. Next, the Suns are on the clock. I have them taking Brandon Podziemski. AirPods is what they call him. He could come in. I mean, he could possibly start for this team now that they have no point guard. I doubt it, but he'll be a good backup point guard. But he averaged 20 and 9 at Santa Clara and shot 44% from three. So that's great. If he is on Phoenix, he's not looking to score necessarily. He's a distributor. He's always looking for the open man. If he has a score, he can score. But getting the ball to Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, now Bradley Beal, he'll fit right in. He might look like Steve Nash out there. But number 53, the Minnesota Timberwolves have him taking Will Richard from Florida, 40% from three, tremendous shooter, great at getting open, great ball handling. If he can play point for Minnesota, that would be great, but he might be a tweener at 6'5". We'll see. But either way, he can back up Anthony Edwards if he's just a shooting guard. The Kings are on the clock at 54. I have him taking Ricky Council, 6'6" guard from Arkansas, average 16 points per game. Needs to upgrade his three-point positioning, but he's a flashy, powerful dunker. Solid player overall. Probably won't play much for Sacramento, but best player on the board. He's a superstar when he's driving to the rack, so I would love to see him continue to develop. 55, I have the Pacers taking Julian Phillips from Tennessee. A lot of people love him, but I went over him in my overrated show. Not great stats, not a great shooter. Just seems like a G League player to me. Indiana has all these picks. He won't play for Indiana. He'll be in the G League, and he might be like Sharife Cooper, who was in the G League, drafted by the Hawks. He was on a 1-year thing. Then next thing you know, he was on the Cavs G League team. So like he never really even got to prove anything and stay with that first team that drafted him. Julian Phillips could be in that boat. We'll see. 56, the Grizz on the clock, having taken Nadir Hippie or Nadir Hi-Fi from France. The small guard, small because he's somewhere between 6'1" and 6'3". No official measurement that I've seen. Really good young point guard, plays below the rim, but he can do everything you want for a point guard. If he stays international, that's fine. If he comes over here, he could take a year or so and develop and become something for this team. We will see. Next would have been the Chicago Bulls, but they forfeited their pick because of tampering. I would have had them taking Justin Powell from Washington State, a guy I guarantee you never heard of, but he's 6'6", nice handle and control of the ball, good playmaker, makes great passes. Mainly that shooting is what you want to see. He'll be an excellent fit for any NBA team. Definitely a player that will fit the modern NBA. Justin Powell. Philly is next on the clock. If they had this pick, they do not. It's forfeited, but I would have had them taking Marquise Noel, the 5'8" point guard from Kansas State. Led his team almost to the championship, but he averaged 17 points per game, 8 assists per game. That's one of the tops in college basketball. Won all the awards you could win. Clutch performer. He's a winner. He's a gamer. Philly could use a backup point guard. You just have to wonder if can a backup point guard that's 5'7", 5'8" flourish in today's NBA. It's worked in the past, but the players are just taller now. It could be rough, but I'll go back to tell you every time I mention his name, he abused Cason Wallace in college in the tournament. So this was a game that mattered. Cason Wallace couldn't stay with them. So I think Marquise Noel can prosper in the NBA if given a chance. Next, the Wizards are back on the clock. Why not take a big? Olivier Maxence Prosper. He played great at the Combine. He was not dynamic to me in college, but he was just a solid player with good size. Can shoot the three pretty well for his size. Why not take the risk on him? He can develop and become something for you. Olivier Maxence Prosper. And last but not least, the Milwaukee Bucks with the 58th selection. I have them taking Keontae Johnson. They're a team looking to go to the championship. They're not looking for a developmental piece. He's a fifth-year senior, shot 40% from three, average 17 and 7. You have to fit him playing with Marquise Noel. I think he can fit well with the team, especially if Chris Middleton is gone. Keontae Johnson can come fill a role, and he can develop somewhere, or he can fill a role with the Milwaukee Bucks because they're, being 22 years old is a good thing for them. 23 years old, 5 years in college. His issue was he had heart problem. He collapsed on the court, went in a coma. That's going to scare teams away. If he's around at 58, Milwaukee has to take that selection and roll with it. Repeating 51 through 58, 51, Nets, Andre Jackson, then Brandon Podziemski, Will Richard, Ricky Council, Julian Phillips, Nadir Hippie, Olivier Max Prosper, and Keontae Johnson. That's omitting the two that I just threw in there for the forfeited picks, which only hurts the players. You have to stop penalizing players for teams tampering. 60 guys should hear their name called. We're going to only hear 58. And that just needs to stop because I can name some more players that are deserving to be drafted that are not. And it's just not right. Do you want to hear a couple of them? I'll give them to you. Let's see. Jaime Jaquez, a lot of people love him. Like I said, Justin Powell and Marquise Noel will not be drafted. Let's see who else. Marcus Bagley's pretty good player. Chase Audige, Jacob Toppin, Adam Flagler, Demore Hodge, Mike Miles, Isaiah Wong, Jalen Pickett, Oscar Tshiebwe, Hunter Tyson, Malachi Smith. The list goes on, but these guys will be in the G League on two-way contracts. We'll see what happens. But that is my mock draft 2.0 from the All Rookie Podcast. It is midnight. Hope you enjoyed that. I did skim through these prospects because I have covered them all off season, talked about them in the last 10 or so episodes. If you want to hear more in depth, you can go back and listen to those episodes. They're all titled and they're going to have these players in them. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at William is Bill to hear more, or I can answer specific questions. Thank you so much for listening to the All Rookie Podcast. Subscribe, please. I would appreciate it. And the draft is almost here. We'll see you soon. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.